Hello students, this is Shweta Roy. This video is for chapter 2, part 2 Geography, Physical Features of India. In this video, we are going to discuss about the Peninsular Plateau, next topic is the Peninsular Plateau. The Peninsular Plateau is a tableland and composed of old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. It was formed due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana land and thus making it a part of the oldest land mass. It has broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills. Also, it consists of two broad divisions, the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. Now, the part of the Peninsular Plateau which lie to the north of the Narmada River, covering a major area of the Malwa Plateau, is known as the Central Highlands. And the Vindhya range is bounded by the Satpura range on the south and the Aravallis on the northwest. Further westward extension gradually emerges with the sandy and rocky desert of the Rajasthan. And the flow of the rivers draining this region, namely the Chambal, the Sindh, the Betwa and the Ken, is from southwest to northwest. So, they indicates the slope. Now, the Central Highlands are wider in the west, but they are narrower in the east. And the eastward extension of this plateau are locally known as the Bundelkhand and Bagelkhand. Fall in Chota Nagpur Plateau. Now, this Chota Nagpur Plateau is marked the further eastward extension, which is drained by the Damodar River. When we talk about Deccan Plateau, it is a triangular landmass which lies to the south of the river Narmada. Satpura range flank its broad base in the north, and the Mahadev, the Kamur hill and the Makal range from its eastern extension. Now you need to locate these hills and ranges in the physical map of India. Now this Deccan Plateau is higher in the west and slopes gently eastward. You can also see an extension of the plateau in the northeast, which is locally known as Meghalaya, Karbi Anglong Plateau and North Chachar Hills. It is separated by a fault from the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Now the three prominent hill ranges from west to east are Garo, the Khasi and the Jaintia hills. We will talk about the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Now Western Ghat mark the western and Eastern Ghat mark the eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau. Western Ghat lie parallel to the western coast and they are continuous and can be crossed through passes only. Now you need to locate the Tal, Bhor and Pal Ghats in the physical map of India. Now this Western Ghat are higher than the Eastern Ghats. Their average elevation is 900 to 1600 meters, and the elevation of Eastern Ghat is 600 meters. Eastern Ghats stretch from Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south, and they discontinuous and irregular and dissected by rivers draining into the Bay of Bengal. Now this Western Ghats cause orographic rain by facing the rain bearing moist winds to rise along the western slopes of the Ghats. Western Ghats also are known by different local names. And the height of the Western Ghats progressively increases from north to south. And the highest peak includes the Anaimudi, 2695 meters, and the Doda Betta, which is 2637 meters. But when we talk about the Eastern Ghat, we have Mahendragiri, which is the highest peak, and the height of Mahendragiri is 1501 meter. Shevroi Hills and the Javadi Hills are located to the southeast of the Eastern Ghat. You need to locate the hill station of Udgamandalam, which is popularly known as Ooty, and the Kodaikanal. So whatever activities are given in this video, you have to do that. Now, the distinct feature of peninsular plateau is black soil area, which is known as Deccan Trap. This is of volcanic origin, and because of that the rocks are igneous. And these rocks have denuded over time and are responsible for the formation of black soil. Now, Aravalli Hills lie on the western and northern margin of the peninsular plateau, and they are highly eroded hills and are found as broken hills. Now, they extend from Gujarat to Delhi in southwest northeast direction. Next, we have the Indian desert, which lies towards the western margins of Aravalli Hills. Now, it is an undulating sandy plain covered with sand dunes, and this region receives very low rainfall, which is below 150 mm per year. The climate of this region is arid and it has very low vegetation. Now during rainy season, the streams appear and soon after they disappear into the sand and they do not have enough water to reach the sea. Luni is the only large river in this Indian desert. Now Barchans cover large area, but longitudinal dunes become more prominent near the Indo-Pakistan boundary. Barchans are the crescent shaped dunes. Next we have the coastal plains. The peninsular plateau is flanked by a stretch of narrow coastal strips which runs along the Arabian Sea on the west and Bay of Bengal on the east. The west coast sandwiches between the Western Ghat and Arabian Sea in a narrow plain, and it consists of three sections. Northern part of the coast is called Konkan, which is Mumbai and Goa. The central stretch is called the Kannad Plain, and southern stretch is called the Malabar coast. Now the plain which is along the Bay of Bengal are wider and level. In the north part it is referred to the northern Sirkar, and in southern part it is known as Coromandel coast. Now rivers, large rivers like Mahanadi, Godavari and Krishna and Kaveri, these kind of large rivers form extensive delta on this coast. Now Chilka Lake is an important feature along the eastern coast, and Chilka Lake is the largest salt water lake in India. It lies in the state of Odisha to the south of Mahanadi Delta. Next you have islands. So we have two groups of islands. Lakshadweep Island group lie close to the Malabar coast of Kerala, and this island is composed of small coral islands. Earlier Lakshadweep Island was known as Lakadiv, Minikoi and Amindiv. In 1973, these were named as Lakshadweep. Now this Lakshadweep covers a small area of 32 square kilometer, and Kavaratti Island is the administrative headquarters of the Lakshadweep. You can see a great diversity of flora and fauna in this island. The Piti Island is uninhabited and it has a bird sanctuary. Now what are corals? Coral polyps are short-lived microscopic organisms and they live in colonies. They flourish in shallow, mud-free and warm waters, and they secrete calcium carbonate. And the coral secretion and their skeleton form this coral deposit in the form of reefs. And these reefs are mainly of three kinds: barrier reef, fringing reef and atolls. The Great Barrier Reef of Australia is a good example of first kind of coral reef. These atolls are the circular or horseshoe shaped coral reefs. Now we have elongated chain of island which is located in Bay of Bengal, extending from north to south, and they are Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They are bigger in size and they are more numerous and scattered. This entire group of island is divided into two broad categories: the Andaman in the north and the Nicobar in the south. These islands are an elevated portion of submarine mountains, as per the belief. Also, they are great strategic. They have great strategic importance for the country. You can see the great diversity of flora and fauna in this group of island too. And this island lie close to the equator and they experience equatorial climate and has thick forest cover. Now, India's only active volcano is found on Barren Island, which is an Andaman and Nicobar group of islands. Now, after a detailed account of different physiographic units, you would have understood the features of each regions, and you can understand that each region complements the other and makes the country richer in its natural resources. Now, mountains are the major source of water and forest wealth. Northern plains are the granaries of country. They provide the base for early civilizations. Plateau is a storehouse of minerals and they play a crucial role in the industrialization of the country. The coastal region and island group provide sites for fishing and port activities. Like this, the diverse features of the land have immense future possibilities of development. I hope you all understood all the topics taught in this video. Thank you.